Make sure your strap isn't too far away when you get your body to lay all the way back. And then bolster, just have it off to the side for now. Blanket can be wherever's comfortable, underneath you or not. And just start off laying all the way back. Body starting to relax as you settle the muscles of the back onto the floor. Just start to let there be some good deep breaths flowing, good inhales. Nice relaxing exhales. It's as if all the cares, all the worries in the world are getting a chance to release right out with our breath. And see if you can take a breath or two to slow the system down, meaning the breath is a little bit slower. Good. Feel how that brings the body into peace, into presence, into release. So the idea of our practice today is having a nice kind of check-in, a tune-in, tune-up. So the tuning in part is our body learning to relax, our mind learning to listen to our body and its experience a little bit better and adjust accordingly. Sometimes the body wants to go just a little bit deeper into poses, and other times the body wants to back out a little bit. So that tune in has to do with how much we're listening to our body. And then that tune up part has to do with our experience of checking in with all the systems of the body. We'll get a nice, well-rounded practice, working everything from the ankles, up through the legs and hips, up through the spine and neck, shoulders, all of our good systems getting a tune up. Imagine it's like a car. When you get a tune up, it just runs a little bit better. So that's our goal for our practice tonight, helping our body out. Tune in and tune up. And so with that, to get us started, the first thing I'd like us to do is just a couple of really kind things energetically to help our system clear out and just start to feel really good. What we're going to do is rub our hands together nice and quick so that you're creating some heat, some friction. When you can feel that heat, let the base of the palms or the middle of the palms rest over the eyeballs. Feel that nice heat. Feel how the eyes have so many muscles that can start to relax here. Not needing to focus on anything. Just release for a moment. Beautiful. So from here, gently lifting the hands off the eyes, spread out the fingertips. The fingertips are going to pitter-patter like raindrops on the scalp. It's moving all over the scalp. Just feel how nice it is to have just a light sensation all around the scalp, all around the hairline, maybe even into forehead a little bit. Just pitter-patter, pitter-patter. So many nice acupressure points. And when that feels really nice, slide the hands down to the neck And give the neck a nice first massage. You can rub through the back of the neck, slide the hands down. You could get to shoulders if that's the culprit. But feel how we're tuning into our body. We've got so many sensations going on that we don't always experience. Sensations of heat, sensations of touch. We'll do one last thing here before moving on. We're taking our pointer finger and our thumb, so our pinching fingers. We're going to help out our earlobe. So take those pinching fingers to the earlobe itself, pinch it a little bit, and with that pinch, you get to massage. Just trace a nice little circle right at that lowest part of the earlobe. And when that feels good, move up one finger distance. Circle, massage through that area. Keep on moving up one finger distance at a time. The earlobe, in acupuncture, the earlobe is symbolic of the whole body. Different parts of the body as you move up, the whole outer earlobe. And so you'll notice some days you have some points that are really tender. And so it's really fun to look at those earlobe maps to see what that symbolizes in the rest of your body. Eventually, when you wrap up those massages, you've gone all the way up to the top of the ear. Go back down to the tightest point of the ear, the spot that was the most tender. Give that spot just a brief extra moment. For me, when I go back to that tender spot, it's like a flood of warmth suddenly spreading out in my body. Give that another breath or two. Good. And as the hands start to release, let's begin to take the knees gently into chest. Hand on each knee, and add some easy movements. The low back, the hips can kind of circle or rock, whatever feels intuitively perfect at this moment. Feel that sensation. Tune in to tune up. Good. And here's where we're going to use our strap for the first time today. So, setting the feet gently to ground, grab your strap. You're going to open it all the way up. And then you need to set up a loop. So you feed the strap through the buckles and then back out the last one. That's how a lot of straps are set up. Some are different. It should be such that when you have it fed back out, you can pull against it and it shouldn't shorten or lengthen. It should stay exactly where you put it. So it's a huge loop, not much extra. So I call that the flag. So not much flag. And then we're going to use this huge circle to help us get a nice neck and hamstring stretch at the same time. So you place your right ball of the foot into one end. You don't want the metal pieces behind the head, so you kind of circle the metal pieces to the side. And then you place the other end around the back side of the head. So it sets it up like a little hammock. Depending on your hamstring tightness, you may need to tighten this up a bit more to pull the hamstring further. There are different sizes of straps. So if anybody got a strap that's too short, just toss it to me and I'll switch you out. If you have one that's really long, just keep on tightening it up until you like where it went. Yeah, so it should end up right at the back of the head. It's not high enough to slip off the hairline. It's also not far enough back that the head rocks back. It's right in that middle spot that keeps it staying. And I love this pose so much because it's like a hammock. It's a hamstring stretch and a neck stretch all together. So as we're here for a little bit of time, if you get to the point where you want the hamstring stretch to be deeper, keep on tightening it up for yourself. It's that personal choice. Just keep on listening, keep on tuning in. And how much can you send the idea of relaxation to all these muscle groups, these muscle fibers, tendons, all sorts of goodies. Never feel bad about coming out to readjust. Sometimes the tiniest little adjustments make all the difference. So start to tune into the breath even deeper. And the breath slow. Be even slower. Take 3 more deep, slow cycles of breath for this leg. Your third breath starts to wrap up. We'll begin to switch our legs. So I personally like to support my neck through the transition. So I'll grab one hand on each side, step the second foot in, and gently release that first foot all the way down. Make sure neck is comfortable, hamstring is comfortable. It might be tight at first. That's okay. Give it time and patience, just like we did for the first side. Just keep on breathing, keep on relaxing. Always know you have that permission to adjust as needed. Sometimes by about this point, the mind starts to wander. So bring it back to sensations that are being experienced in the body. Help the body to slow down that breath pace. We'll take about 3 more long, deep cycles on this side. And after that third cycle, slowly start to release the foot from the strap. Keep the strap in a loop. We'll use it a bit later in class, but it can be set off to the side for now. And let's begin to work our way up toward a comfortable seated place. Good. We're going to do a couple of poses back to back, just working on a little bit more of the spine and the hip areas. So you're either going to have right leg crossed in front or right shin trying to stack on top. We don't go for the shin stack if the knee and hip is giving you any sorts of issues. Just go for that cross leg instead. The bolster will be set right up to the right side of us. I like to have it at this height. If you have the different kind of bolster, you can either set it up to the hip if it's too small, or use it as is, depending on how your body receives this next pose. But place your right elbow onto the bolster, head resting in that right hand. And then start to let that left arm stretch up to sky. And you don't have to stay active here. You could just reach those fingers long, but you could also have the option to just rest the weight of that left arm on your head, elbow nice and softly bent. Start to feel some space happening in new areas we haven't touched upon quite yet in class. So send some breath into the side ribs. Imagine each breath, again, is that mantra for our class today. Tune in to tune up. Just 2 more breaths here. This one's pretty deep. After that second breath, the left hand, the weight of it dropping back down helps us rise. We're placing the right hand in front of the left knee and then sliding to that left knee or thigh angle. Just continue to slide to the angle that the thigh is pointed out. Good. Nice opposing stretch to what we just did. To walk both hands in the center, either hands themselves are planting, or some people rest the elbows down on the shins or elbows to floor. It's whatever depth helps you to start to stretch the hips and glutes just a little bit more. One more beautiful breath in. A nice exhale. An easy return journey of the hands walking back in. We'll free out our legs. Before we take the second side, let's do a few windshield wipers. So these feet planted in front of us. The knees gradually fall left. Gradually fall to right. Just nice and easy. So when that feels satisfied, happy, left leg is in front or on top. Bolster will end up starting to scoot off to that left side, left elbow on it. Head rests in that left hand. The right arm could be active, just pointing at that long side angle, or just drop the weight of that arm onto the head. Always know if there's the tiniest little adjustments that need to happen to make sure your muscles are comfortable. We take all the time we need to readjust. That's part of that tuning in process. Tune in to know where those little kinks are, and then tune up to help wiggle the way right out of those. Just 2 more breaths here. And the weight of the right arm lifting out of it helps us to rise. We've got the left hand planting in front of right knee, and then just continue to slide to that right thigh direction. Both hands walk to the space in front of us. You can stay on hands, you can lower elbows to shins, or you can work elbows to floor. See if for this one you can allow the weight of the head to truly just drop down, allowing a tiny little stretch on those muscles of the back of the neck. Hands walk back in. We allow right leg to straighten out in front of us. Left foot tucks into thigh. We're going to start tilting forward toward that right leg. Sometimes it's nice to slide the bolster in. This is something easy to settle down onto. There's different height options, so always know you can go with smallest height, medium height. If you even like the taller height, I'll make it like a little ramp and just rest my forehead directly onto it. But lots of options based on where you're at this precise moment in time. Start to rise the spine up so we can switch the legs out. Left gets its turn to lengthen. Again, any support that you'd like, a bolster, use it. You don't ever have to. But feel some length happening. And imagine by the very muscles that you're feeling lengthen, imagine what's going on in the circulation. We have that blood that's been pooling in that area, or the lymph that's been stuck. It's finally giving those channels a chance to open up. Time and space for it to start to work out, improving that circulation. Just easy breaths as we're tuning in. Visualizing increase of health all over the body. More slow breaths for this half. And with an easy rise up, set the bolster to the side for this moment. Come back into easy cross leg. Let the right arm come in front of you. That right straight arm is going to circle up to sky. As it travels back, enjoy that moment with a twist. Shoulder opening ever so slightly. And start to circle that arm all the way back forward. When it's in front of us, cross it over the body, and then left arm hugs that rear. On this side, I like to usually tilt my head to the left. Good, release. Left arm is in front of us, circle it up. Let there be a moment with the twist as it comes to that space behind us. And return left arm all the way forward. Cross it over the body, right arm hugs it. Head can go perhaps to right shoulder. To open, both arms wide, both hands clasped behind our back. Hand shift to right hip or right waist, and then right ear drops over right shoulder. Head rises gently up. Switch the hands to left hip or left waist, and left ear drops to left shoulder. More inhale. Exhale, head up, hands release, reclasp in front, and then placing the hands on the back of the head, start to invite chin to chest. The goal of the hands here is not to pull the head down, but to be a little bit of extra weight so that the head is just weighed down directly into the stretch. Sometimes there's wiggles that need to happen. We need to tilt the head just slightly to the right or slightly to the left to get our specific spots. Other times it's that middle spot right there in the center. Good, so releasing the hands. We're going to take ourselves onto our knees. We can have the blanket under your knees if needed for now. And what we're going to do is take a moment to help stretch our feet out. So we're trying to get all 10 toes to tuck under. And then from here, we're heading some of our weight back to the heels. So for some of us, this is about as much as the bottoms of the feet can stretch. Some of us can take all of our weight up, but this can become really intense on the toes stretching and the fascia of the feet. So don't feel like you have to force it. If it gets too intense at all, just bring some of your weight back forward. See if you can tune in even through the intensity, focusing on the breath, good and slow. Two more deep breath cycles like that. That second breath cycle, hands plant forward. Either circle the toes out for a moment or pitter patter them out. Good. We're going to try to stretch through this front part of the foot. So what we're going to do is, if we can sit back comfortably onto the feet that are pointed back, take that. If that's intense, you'll lean any amount to the left. But the goal from here is the right hand picks up the right knee. This left hand is just helping us balance. If this is intense right here, lean even further to left and that'll help you out. So take it as far as you need. Good. Just another breath, huge inhale. Exhale. And start to switch so that we pick up left knee. And any amount of switching over is fine. Yep, use that bolster. Got these props. Have another breath in and out. Then release, circling feet or pitter patter. Feet in a relaxed position, whatever that looks like. Left elbow down, swivel the hand in. Right arm extends out long in front of us. Half puppy pose, just set the forehead down and feel that right shoulder relax. Opening up into that stretch. Feel heart willing to dip down. A teeny bit of a back bend action. And feel how that helps to release some of the tension out of the low back area. Now right arm starts to swivel in to switch sides. Left arm extends out. Last big deep inhale. Beautiful exhale. And then walk the elbows in until we're kneeling. Give the spine a moment. You can swivel it left and right. You could round it up and down. Just a couple of easy moments, even just kind of shaking it out if that feels useful. Good. And then setting up the knees about as wide as the mat. We're taking a wide knee child pose, bolster sitting up in front of us. So as we place the left arm alongside the bolster, the right arm threads under and through. And just let that right ear rest down. To transition to second side, right arm slides alongside bolster, and then left arm takes its turn. Rising back up. We're going to purposely set our hips to the left side, feet tucked to the right. Again, if you need your bolster to make it a little bit easier, that's fine. Right hand grabs for that right ankle. Left hand reaches up and over, and purposely drop right ear to right shoulder. Now as the left arm returns back to hover above ground, feel how that pulls left shoulder and neck into a really good stretch. Left fingers off to the left, just hovering. Okay, so head up, we're going to switch sides. Hips start to work their way to the right. Left hand grabs left ankle, right hand reaches up and over. And left ear down. And everything here stays the same except for that right hand starts to return right above the ground. Feel how this is the right shoulder now getting pulled very nicely into the stretch. Beautiful. Head lifts back up. This blanket, you roll it up into a nice tight kind of cinnamon roll. Make us hungry now. And when we have it rolled up nice and tight, we're going to place it on our calves. And you'll start to set some of your weight back onto the calves. Don't feel like it has to be your whole body weight. Like earlier when we were upright, that's going to be, again, the most intense. So some of your weight leaning forward is absolutely fine if the amount of massage your calves are willing to handle at this moment. Just a spot where the breath is willing to flow. Easy breath cycles. Sometimes left and right wiggles of the hips helps the massage, and sometimes not. So that's okay, just breathe. Three more cycles of breath wherever we're at. Good. So after all three, feel free to unroll the blanket if you'd like to sit back on it. Legs swing out in front of us. The legs can go to an easy wide shape. I personally love the bolster in front of me again. Any height, small, medium, tall. But as we start to tilt forward, feel how the action of either pointing or flexing feet affects that calf that we just massaged. Specifically, trying to take moments where you pull the toes up will help to stretch those calves, and then the pointing helps to release that intensity. So be conscious, maybe take some pulses back and forth a few times. Maybe just choose the best spot. It's all up to you. Just a little bit longer. So if you'd like to adjust to go to a different level or different depth, this is a good moment to do so. Starting to work our spine back up. Legs swivel in, easy cross leg. We're going to try to find access to this right foot. We're giving it a little massage. So if you're like me and you like to practice with socks, take the socks off for a moment. So right foot either can be at shin stack or cross leg, whatever you need to do to access the right foot. We're trying to thread the left fingers into that right foot. Fingers go right into the toes. Once you've got them there, take a moment to try to squeeze the toes into the fingers. Feel how that's its own kind of massage. The toes squeezing into fingers. Then release that. Now the fingers spread the toes out. A moment to feel that. Good. Now release all that effort and allow this hand to manipulate the foot. So maybe the foot's being wrung out. Maybe it's being pointed and flexed. Maybe there's kind of circle loops that it's doing. So whatever feels like it's helpful for that foot, give it a couple of breaths. As we start to switch sides, if you like to put your sock on, go right ahead. Then we'll find access to left foot. Spread fingers into the toes. Then toes squeeze in. Feel how that's its own kind of massage. There's pressure points there that we maybe haven't felt in quite some time. Good. Release that effort. And then fingers spread the toes out. Okay, as that effort's released, the hand manipulates the foot. You can be ringing, you can be circling, you can be pointing and flexing. Just anything that feels good. Good. As we release, if you'd like to reset sock, that's fine. Easy cross leg. Hands clasped together. And let the wrist trace infinity. So a loop to the right, a loop to the left. Good. Both arms straighten out. And then the left hand pulls in so that you're stretching right wrist. Switch, stretching left wrist. Flip the palms around. And then left pulls in to stretch the right wrist from this half. And left wrist stretching. Good. Release, let the hands circle or shake. Then take your knuckles. We're massaging the jaw. It's kind of the spot right where the teeth line is. Just make the jaw nice and loose. I like to do big circles. But if there's forward, backward motions or other tight spots that you can get into there, go right ahead. Make sure that the jaw's nice and loose as you release. All that tension gone. So we'll be setting up our last pose here. This could be the Shavasana for people here. If you get into this pose and it's not your favorite thing in the world, stay for a minute or two, and then you're welcome to transition out to a normal, like these comfortable laying pose if you'd like. And this is where we'll use this strap again. So we're going to take it around our waist like a hula hoop. Bolsters long ways behind us. The feet slide into cobbler's pose, so bottoms of feet touch together. The strap, I tend to like having the flag point toward me. So currently I've got it facing away from me. So I'm going to circle this loop all the way around so that I've got it facing on the other side toward me. That'll make it easy for me to tighten it just by pulling onto it later if I need to. But it goes over tops of thighs and under bottoms of feet. Good. You don't want the metal anywhere but just to the side. So once you've got it over thighs, under feet, we're heading back onto bolster. So get your hands there, and then elbows, and then just sliding the elbows out and laying on our back. If you get there and you want the feet to be pulled in tighter, that's where you grab onto the flag and pull it in. Continue to adjust as needed for your body to be comfortable settling down. And again, there's nothing wrong if after a minute or so you're like, not my favorite. But if it feels amazing for your body, let this be our Shavasana today. Deep breath starting to flow. Beautiful inhales, long exhales. If there's any of those adjustments that we did earlier that might be helpful to allow body to relax, such as bringing hands to the neck and just giving it a gentle massage, or creating heat for the hands and resting that on the eyes for a moment. You're welcome to add any of those touches that will help the body settle very, very comfortably down. Just know that for this tune in to tune up, all it takes to wrap up this process, this beautiful journey, is just the simple act of breathing here. Deep, full breaths flowing for the next few minutes. Little bit to help us start to unwind, return back to this time, this space. Maybe nice just to take a good breath or two, feeling that really deep flow, experiencing some of those deeper lobes of the lungs. nice here to allow arms to start to stretch in really good ways. There's two ways people might head out of this. Some people might just work your elbows underneath you, heading up and taking a cobbler's pose for a moment. Others might reach to free out the feet and take a fetal position for a moment. So it's up to you, whatever might feel best. We're starting to awaken out of this journey. Add some easy movements, making sure that spine gets any counter stretches that it needs. Eventually heading up to a comfortable seated place. We'll find hands joining together in front of heart. We tune into that simple idea today. Tune in to tune up. Remembering that as we go forward, we can listen to our body in a much deeper way anytime we choose. We can take the time to do these simple little exercises and massages that help our system out. And so with this idea, tune in to tune up to lead us on. Let's wrap up the time we shared together today with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Om. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.